There is a victimhood epidemic where people are competing to see who's the most victimized. I was just listening to a podcast about a younger guy. It's mainly young people who do this for some reason. He made whatever a million followers on YouTube or whatever. He was getting interviewed, and all he could talk about was how tough his childhood was. And so when he got down to it, there was a few things that was really tough. One, he was anxious. He had a porn addiction where he said he masturbated every single night. He said he didn't know how to talk to girls. He said he hated school and did good grades. And his parents didn't like it that he didn't get good grades and that he didn't fit in. And those were the most normal symptoms of a young teenage man. Every single person feels like they don't fit in. They play too many video games. That was another. He said he played too many video games. What 17-year-old, 15-year-old kid doesn't play too many video games? And who can talk to girls when they're 15 years old? It just boggles my mind that people want other people to feel bad. And that was the goal. To say, I got this success despite all of these wrongdoings that I had. I didn't come for money and all these other things. And I was an immigrant from Asia. Who the hell cares? People do it in such vast ways where the only thing they care about is that other people perceive them as having a tough life. Why the hell is that? Honestly, I don't know. I gotta be kind of quiet because I'm in the airport right now. But it drives me crazy. Why is the first thing that people do when they get any sort of success or when they get none? It's to blame other external factors. Nobody takes self accountability for the things that go wrong. That, oh, I played too many video games, I didn't get good grades in school, I masturbated too much. Those are all the things that he was saying. Uh, just take accountability that you do those things when you're young because you don't know better. That's usually the situation. And then you grow up and you realize you should be filling your time with better hobbies. That you shouldn't be watching 5 hours of anime, playing video games for 4 hours, eating a bunch of junk food, and masturbating yourself to sleep. You realize that when you're older. But everyone, when they're younger, does that for the most part. But they use this. And if this was just one person, it wouldn't really piss me off. But so many people use this as like the driver of their success. That they had all these horrible things happen to them. Instead of just saying, okay, it doesn't matter what situation I was put in. Let's just see what outcome I get. Because what does that train yourself to do when you are blaming these external factors or things that you used to do for this terrible childhood? That's how you're going to remember your childhood. That's the way that you're going. I only try to think of the good things that ever happened in my childhood. So that's the way I remember as good times. And so I'm not constantly gloating to people how terrible my childhood was. Why would anyone do that? What do you benefit? That someone feels bad for you? That's literally the only thing that you come to gain. That someone says, wow, I really feel bad for this person for what they have done. There's zero other benefit, but every single person does that. They just constantly dwell on the fact of how unfortunate they were. No one can just succeed today. They have to succeed despite what has happened in the past, and they will constantly dwell on that despite aspect. Because it's not enough just to succeed. You have to have a terrible childhood. I think it's because a lot of the stories that we hear, or the movies and the shows that we watch, and the podcasts that we listen to, the person always had a tough story, and therefore we want to relate to that, and we want to say, "Oh, I also had such a tough story." And then you try and find and latch on to the things that were tough in your childhood, and you turn that as part of your identity. But again, what do you gain from that? Zero, zero. So you're just I think people are just making themselves up to be goofballs. And that's just for the people who succeeded, who latch on to things that went wrong in their childhood. What's even worse is people who are calling these external factors, like they were an immigrant, they were part of the minority, they're in a low income household, or whatever, as the reason why they can't succeed. And they're victimizing themselves in an aspect because they can't get to X outcome because of the current situation that they're in. And no matter how hard they work, it will never matter. Oh, I'm a woman of color, therefore I will never be able to succeed due to the statistics. And then you latch onto that and you just blame someone else for your problem. Where again, you're in the same situation. Where are you left off after you use that as part of your identity? So, okay, a lot of people feel bad for you, and maybe someone even gives you a couple bucks or an opportunity. But where are you left off? No better, literally in the exact same place. So you can complain about all of these factors that are bringing you down is for the reason why you don't have money or don't have a good physique or whatever the hell it is that you want. Or you can just take self accountability, which is one of the most important traits that everyone that I've looked up to has ever had. They take accountability for their actions in their business, in their personal life, in their relationships. If something goes wrong, it is my fault. And I always try and think that way. But therefore, if something goes good, I usually think, how the hell can I make it better? But anyway, I gotta go before I get stampeded at the airport. The audio probably stinks, but goodbye.